Good morning. It's quite dark this morning. Let's see if I can get us a bit more light. Is that right? Okay. Okay, so this morning we're going to start kneeling. So if kneeling isn't comfortable for you, you can grab a blanket, maybe stick it underneath your knees or between your feet and your bum, and maybe have a cushion underneath and then a cushion in between. Or start standing up on the knees, which might be a little bit harder. So just give you a couple of minutes to find the place. And if it feels good, we'll start with just the feet underneath the seat bones and see if we can bring our presence into the room. Notice how you're spreading your weight on the ground. Notice the length, the depth, the rhythm of your breath. And just a quick body scan from head to toes to notice any areas of tensions in the body. So it could be a muscular tension, could also be a place where the breath seems to pause. I'm not going to stay here too long, just to get your feet used to the weight of your bum. You're going to place your hands in front of you. And as you inhale, see if you can arch a little bit, bring the chest forward. As you exhale, let a cat and cow movement round your spine, through your navel in, and extend the hand forward. And then inhale, come up to hands and knees. Exhale, round. So we'll do a few rounds of cat and cow breath. Inhaling, rolling up, and exhaling, rounding the spine. So take this time to wake up. And this is a really good stretch. It lets you move with your breath, so trying to slow your breath to move slowly. And if it's too hard to start with, then make the movement last several breaths. Concentrate on the movement first. Stretching the spine in both directions, rounding and arching. And noticing the movement within the shoulder joints and the hip joints. Noticing how you're spreading the weight through your hands, your knees, your lower legs and your feet. If you're bringing extra tension in your neck, that you could relax. And if it feels good, maybe really relaxing the neck. So letting the crown of the head heavy. Every exhale, squeezing the navel in and expanding through the back of the spine. And then on an inhale, coming back, looking forward, and maybe staying here. And if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. And on your inhale, you're expanding. On the exhale, you're softening. The next exhale, let's bring your hips back onto your heels and spread down. Inhale, coming back and maybe letting the hips come down. Exhaling into a child pose position. Inhaling into an upward dog, so I'm keeping my arms straight, my hands plugged into the ground and looking up. And if it's too much for you, come back to the cat and cow movement and notice where you're feeling the stretch. So as I'm here, I'm drawing my chest forward As I exhale, I'm drawing my hips back. Do one more. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, coming to child pose. Let's bring the hands behind. And if you feel a little pressure in your wrists, maybe you can bring your hands to the side of your legs and rest them on the back of the hands with the elbow rested up. So like being very gentle, giving a little back bend to your wrists. You can move them and just let the weight of the arms rest. Staying down for a few breaths. Slowly bringing the hands forward again for that cross stretch, which has become my favorite these last few weeks. So we started from hands and knees with the hands like a little forward. So the back of my hand is going to move to level to the fingertips of the other hand. And first we're going to move in rhythm with the breath. So as we exhale, we thread the left hand under, bend the right elbow and come into a twist. And as we inhale, we come back to center. So make sure I'm symmetrical in the center. And exhale, coming as far as I can with the right hand underneath. Inhale to center. Exhale onto the right side. So you're moving with your own breath. We'll do it maybe 6 times each side. Move slowly and notice what happens as you're transferring the weight from the supporting hand to the shoulder underneath you. If you can keep your hips steady. And on an exhale, softening your waist and letting the effect of the twist also massage your internal organs. Do one more time on each side. You're following the movement with your head, but you're not really moving the head too much. And the next time you're looking under your right arm, you might want to stay here. If you don't want to, that's fine too. You can come back to a child pose. And as you're breathing, so I'm resisting with my right hand a little bit to lift my right shoulder. I can even turn my head a little bit to look at my right shoulder. And I'm trying to bring the left shoulder underneath the right shoulder. So I get the stretch against the whole upper back. I'm letting the left hand be really relaxed. And I'm also getting the twist feeling into my lower ribs. And I'm trying to keep that right shoulder well away from my ears. My neck is soft, my head is resting on the ground. I'm going to inhale. And I come up to center. Maybe take a breath in the center to rebalance everything. And exhale. Bring the right hand under. And again, taking a look at the left shoulder and transferring the weight. So the weight is in my left hand, in my right shoulder, and in my knees and feet. And as I'm static, I'm using my breath, the length of my breath, the depth of my breath to stretch more all those muscles in my upper back. So you can direct the breath to wherever you find tension and see if you can inflate in that part and notice how that feels. Let's do one more breath here. And on an inhale, coming back to center, we're going to come and lie down on our tummies. And one arm at a time, I'm going to support myself on the right arm. And I'm going to bring my left arm underneath me. So depending how flexible your shoulder is, you could come onto the left side of your body, or you could come and try and lie back down on your tummy with your forehead facing down or onto that right hand. And you're just resting here, letting the weight of the body stretch the back of the left shoulder. So any position where you're using your whole weight and gravity to lengthen or stretch, just be mindful of how much you're letting sink into the joint. Like, you don't want to create an injury, you just want to find the edges of your flexibility and breathe through them. And with every exhale, it's going to feel nice, like a release. If it feels like a cramp or pins and needles, then back off, maybe come back onto the side of your body, or just take a rest altogether. On an inhale, press into the right arm, slowly come up. And exhale, drawing the left shoulder under your body. Coming back, and so the more you're going to face your body and your chest towards the floor, the more you're going to feel that stretch. But you might also want to feel it a little less if you're really tight. And if you're there and breathing, really feel that with the breath out, you can let yourself be heavier and more relaxed. And slowly come out of it on an inhale. Bring the hands underneath the chest, bring the legs together. And inhale into a little cobra. So drawing the elbows back and the chest forward. Exhale. Let's rest the head down. Relax the legs. Inhale. Draw the legs back. Draw the chest up into your little cobra. Little weight into the hands. Exhale down. And you're going to try and roll up from the top of your spine towards the middle spine, and the lower back doesn't really reach high up all that much. As you exhale, you rest the head down, you relax the legs. When you inhale, you keep the legs active, and you roll up. Now from here, see if you can bring your forearms onto the ground. And so staying nice and steady, forearms parallel. Keep drawing your chest forward. Make sure your head is relaxed. This is Sphinx pose. So remember this lady lion in Egypt. And she's just resting here on her legs. If you see the cat on the sofa behind me, well, it's demonstrating another pose at the moment. But they're sitting here and their chest is between their arms. And the curve is more in the upper back than in the lower back. So my hips are facing the ground. My lower spine is long. And I'm bending just over the lower ribs. My head is relaxed. And let's exhale, slowly come down, bring the hands by your chest and push into your hands to come back into a child pose. You should feel the difference of the curve in your spine. Breathing here. On an inhale, lift your heads, draw your hands back. And I'm going to try something. I'm not sure how this is going to work for everybody's toes. It's something that my friend Murren from Time for You Yoga and Kersivin, she always does. And I don't really do it that often, and I probably need it. So basically, you're going to come onto hands and knees, and you're going to tuck your toes under. So rather than being lying on the top of your feet, you're going to tuck your toes under And then you're gonna work yourself back up to kneeling. So you're kneeling, sitting on your feet, and your toes are tucked under. So let's try it and see if that works. And maybe you need to bring some padding in front, underneath the ankles, underneath the knees. Trying and find a steady position onto those toes and play with the weight. So there's a lot of things, a lot of nervous termination in the sole of the foot. So we're trying to just stretch the sole of the foot. If it becomes very uncomfortable, just keep it until you can't anymore, and then come back to sitting or to kneeling normally, or even stand up. And while we're letting this happen, we're going to stretch the shoulders. So we're going to inhale the arms up, and as we exhale, hold on to the elbows and sink the shoulders. I'm going to do it facing you, but I'm keeping my toes under. And I'm probably not going to be able to last the whole exercise, so you can last longer than me or less. Listen to your body. So from here, I'm going to just draw my elbows back and gently move my head between my arms. So it's kind of looking at the picture frame. Maybe changing direction. So circles with my nose, looking all the way through the frame of my arms. Coming back to center. Inhaling, stretching up deeply, and exhaling, coming to interlock. I can start feeling my toes now. I don't know about you. So I'm going to interlock. My finger is behind me, and I'm going to look up and draw my hands down. On an exhale, I'm going to bring my fists to the left side of my waist. I'm going to breathe here, and again do a couple of deep circles. So I'm pushing my spine back into my left forearm. I'm letting my elbow move all the way back. At the same time, I'm feeling my toes underneath me and trying to relax them. And exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, bring the hands back behind, moving them away. So you're trying to move the fists away from you, also the elbow. When we do this along a few breaths, I'm just going to relax my face to look down. And I'm reaching down and back with the hands, the shoulders, and the elbows. And then I'm going to swing them around and bring my fist to the left side of my waist. And really let that right arm move behind me. There's a strong contact between my interlocked fingers. And then as I'm drawing the right shoulder back, doing neck circles the other direction. And when I'm doing neck circles, I'm bringing it as much in my neck as I am in my eyes. Sometimes it feels really nice for the skin of the face and the muscle of the eyes to look all the way to the corner of your eyes, the bottom, the front, the inside. And on an exhale, we're going to relax back in the center. And okay, if your toes are screaming, you might just come out of it. And if you want to try something, see if you can push onto your hands and slowly roll back onto the soles of the feet. And we're into a tiny little squat ball. Now, if this doesn't happen for you, just come back to kneeling tall or sitting or even standing and stretching your legs. Because from here, so from wherever you are, you're gonna keep your feet into the ground, reach your hands forward, and slowly extend the legs up until you can take the weight into your feet, maybe space them out a little bit. Relax the upper body, grab the elbows, and come into a ragdoll forward bend. So the legs are soft, the knees aren't totally extended. Maybe you can play with shifting the weight towards the heels, moving the hips back, and then trying to keep the length in the leg, lengthen the spine, getting your upper body to come closer to your thighs. Just letting yourself hang. Notice how that feels. Maybe try and do some shoulder circles from here. So you're letting your shoulder drag and then you bring them back towards the back of the body. Maybe changing direction just to notice how it feels. And slowly relax your arms. Bring your hands onto your thighs and move very slowly to push your hips back, bend your knees, and come to a straight back. So without lifting your face too much. When you're in that straight back position, slowly unhinge, pressing the hands onto the knees, coming to a halfway position, and try to keep engaging the core so you don't arch too much. And from here, let's press into your feet. Open your arms out to the side. Stretch all the way up and exhale. Bring your hands back down to center. And let's step to the front of the mat. We do a half sun salutation just to connect us through the breath and moving on to the next pose. So starting with your arms either side of your body. Take a moment to notice the standing position, any feelings in your legs, in your feet. On an inhale, look up, stretch up. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor in front of you and move your right leg back. Drop your right knee and come up onto a lunge with the left leg facing forward. So first, see if you can look down the center line of your body and see your right thigh. So if you're too far here, you're not going to see it. So you're going to really push yourself back and then push yourself up from that right knee to the crown of your head. And see if you can drop the left hip a little bit. I'm going to breathe here. And as we breathe here, maybe hands on your hips so that you notice whether the hips are moving or not. You're going to shuffle the left foot a little bit forward if it's happening for you. Draw the tailbone down, look down at that right thigh, look down at the length of your body and see if you can hinge a little bit more towards the left knee so you get more of a stretch on the right thigh. And here, let's see if we can bring the arms back to the center of the body. So feeling yourself balance over that right knee. Hips are leveled. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw the hands down the center line. Inhale, reach up. Maybe looking up. Exhale, draw the hands down the center line. Draw your core in, look down the center of your body. So maybe you're inhaling, reaching up and letting yourself arch a little. But as you exhale and draw the hands down, you're coming back to center. And let's bring the hands back around that left foot. Come up onto the back foot and come up onto the fingertips. Try and take as much weight into the legs as you can. And as you're breathing, you're expanding from the back heel to the crown of the head. Your neck is soft. On an exhale, bringing the left hand inside the right leg. So if the lunge isn't happening, you can still have your back knee down. And you're going to try and bring your left hand inside your back leg. If this isn't happening either, then your elbow is going to be on top of your right leg. So from here, so knee down or knee up, I'm going to turn my hips towards the side, hand on the ground, or actually let's all start with the elbow on the knee, and we're not sinking the elbow on the knee. So I'm not like finding all my weight falling down. I'm extending up from the foot to the knee, to the elbow, to the shoulder. And as I'm going to bring this arm up, I'm going to extend the whole right side of my body. And I'm going to draw the right shoulder back away from my ear. And as I breathe here, I keep my hips leveled and my rib cage leveled. So there's no tilt in the hips or the rib cage. There's no arch in my back. I'm going to try and lift myself off that front leg. And as I exhale, I'm going to bring my hand back on the floor. So maybe with my back heel, my back knee down. And if this is enough for you, come back to hands and knees and do some cat and cows, or take a couple of breaths in child pose. But if you've got a little more in you, see if you can move the back leg back. And as we exhale, draw, like so, bending the elbows like a chaturanga move. So drawing the elbows down and the ear towards the floor, looking towards the left leg. This is quite intense. Listen to your body and see what works for you. Inhale, come back up. Bring your hands underneath you. And exhale, step back directly into a downward dog. Now moving your downward dog. Should feel the left hip way more than the right hip right now from all the stretches we've done. So notice the difference. Try and isolate the muscles that you feel in the left leg and try and feel them in the right leg. If you want to move from side to side, bend one knee after the other. Really feel like you can rest and stretch in downward dog. And if you can't, then drop your knees and come into a child pose or half downward dog. And when you're ready, let's bring your right leg forward. Drop your left knee. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. So we're going to reverse the body, move it over the left thigh, looking down the front line of the body. Imagine you're standing in that mountain position and your left leg is, and your whole upper body is. The lower leg and the lower left leg and the right leg aren't. But everything else should be nice, steady, and aligned. As we inhale, reaching the hands up. Exhaling, drawing the core in as you draw your hands down the center line. Inhale, stretching upwards. Exhale, finding that center. Your hands, the center line should be right inside your right thigh. And exhale, relax. Now let's see if we can, so first we'll come into the runner lunge. So fingertips down and lifting the back knee, lengthening all the way away. So again, if this is too far from you, you can come up onto that right knee. Keep that feeling of engaging your core, keeping a safe balance between the front and the back of the middle body. So the part between the hips and the rib cage. Keeping disengaged and long, and you're not collapsing the front part. Just notice the feelings. You can draw the back knee up, maybe looking down the line of the body, or making circle with the head. As you circle with your head, look at your shoulders, and imagine if I was watching you, what would I say? And from here, bring your hands inside your feet, or, actually pivot your left foot, bring it to the side, or keep it down on the ground. Bring the right elbow to the top of the right knee, and extend the left arm up. Let's stretch up. And if you like it, move your arms up and down with your breath. If it helps, sinking the hips on the way down, engaging, lengthening the left side on the way up. Maybe circling your head, looking at the arms. Maybe coming up and reaching up as you take the weight off the elbow. And on an exhale, bringing your hands back inside your right leg. So the back knee can be down or not. And you could also be here. And if you are tempted for the extra stretch, so my hands are level with my right foot, my back knee is up. I'm going to inhale, really lengthen up and move my thigh out to the side so I've got space. Actually, my hands need to go back a little bit. And as I exhale, I'm looking to the right and then coming into chaturanga arms, letting my body come down inside my right thigh. And inhale, coming up. Exhale. Let's step back into a plank. So just a strong static plank for now. I'm not going to hold it for that long. You might just breathe here. And on the next exhale, see if you can keep your core really engaged and lower your nose and your chest to the ground before dropping your belly, your hips, and your legs. Now take a rest on your tummy. And so if this isn't the most comfortable, you're going to try and rest your head on your forehead. Or if it doesn't happen, you're going to have to hold it up. Or if you want to bring something underneath your forehead, you can do that. But not your hands, because your hands are going to be out to the side of the body, like a T shape. And you're going to keep your head rested and supported. As you inhale, you're going to lift your hands, and it's like the same movement we're doing in the sun salutation. So you're going to inhale, except you're going to reach the hands away from the floor so that you can move them and bring the palms of the hands together over your head. Exhale, bring them back over to the shoulders. So inhale, reaching the hands and dropping the baby fingers over your head. Exhale, bring them back out to the side. Inhaling up, exhaling out to the side. And on the neck exhale, relax your hands down by your hips, turn your head to one side. And just take a breath here. Now, whichever side your head is turned to, mine is to the right. I'm going to lift my right foot and grab the toes of my right foot. So it's a little shuffling happen. I can also take my left hand and drop it onto my sacrum, into like the top bit of the back of my hips. And like I'm kind of pushing down a little bit to help my hips to engage, my tailbone to come towards the floor, my pubic bone to reach down. And as my left hand is keeping my hips steady onto the ground, my right hand is gently drawing the right foot more towards me. And I'm looking for a filling in the front of my thigh rather than in my knee. Now, actually, because for me it's just there, I'm going to bring my head back to center and I'm going to bring my two hands around my right foot. Let's see what works for you. I'm going to try and bring my thighs back together. So the other one is extended. Maybe shuffle my arms around the right foot. And keep pressing the pubic bone into the ground. And extend the right foot towards the ceiling. So I get a big stretch on both shoulders. And also on the front of the right thigh. Again, I'm like really weighing my pubic bone down into the ground because I don't want to feel the work in the lower back. Exhaling, bringing it down. Maybe turning the head to the other side for a little rest. Let my heels fall out, toes towards each other. And then slowly bringing the left foot up, holding it, and then kind of bring the legs, the thighs back together. It's like it's naturally that like you're moving it out to the side to get the foot. And like if it's really far, then you can kind of lift your upper body on the other forearm. And once you have it, see if you can come back and rest on your back. And breathe into the left front thigh. You're pushing the left hip into the ground. And you're lifting the knee. And you're also lifting the lower leg up, resisting a little bit with the arm. And maybe you can do it dynamically. So maybe you're going to exhale and bend the foot more, draw the heel towards the buttock. As you inhale, lift the thigh off the ground. Maybe like the other side, you want to reach the foot with both hands. And stretch it all up. I feel this one, when I'm using both hands, I feel it way more on my knee. So again, you're trying to not generate pressure into the joints. You're trying to feel the muscles in the body, not the articulations. So fix it and take the option that works for you. And then exhaling, slowly relaxing. Bringing your hands back by your chest. And pushing back into a child pose. Letting yourself rest in that child pose. Breathing into the lower back. And then inhale, slowly look up. If your toes are up for it, tuck your toes underneath your heels and walk your hands in to come maybe first into that kneeling position. Coming back nice and tall. Breathing as the blood comes back down from the brain to the heart and to the lower body. Let's see if we can exhale, bring the hands forward. Inhale here. Exhale, push into a short downward dog. And as we inhale, walk the feet back towards the hands until we come into a straight back position. So I want a straight back and straight arms. My fingertips can be on the floor and my leg, or they can be up onto my legs and my legs can be really bent. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale. Fold deeper. Inhale, open your arms to the side. Come all the way up, reach up. And exhale, come down. Inhale, circling the arms up. Exhaling, folding forward, bringing the hands down in front of the body and moving the left leg back and the right leg back. And coming into this downward dog position. And okay, I'm trying to do a little twist in downward dog. So have a go at it. And if it doesn't work, drop your knees and use like a hand and knee version. Now I'm going to look forward and I'm going to move my left hand more towards the center. As I inhale, I'm going to bring my right hand and see if I can grab my left ankle. And then inhaling, coming back, putting the right hand in the center. And as I exhale, I'm going to come and grab the opposite ankle. So see if you can do this with your breath. Whoop. Make sure your hand is nice and stuck to the mat. And bend your knees as much as you need. So it gives you that sensation of like you're pushing yourself away from your front hand. And that's what you want to have in downward dog anyway. Now, if you are there and you're doing it, maybe stay up. And so I'm weighing on my left hand, but I'm also taking as much weight as I can on the left foot. My left elbow is a little bent because I don't want to put too much pressure on it. And my right leg is quite bent. And actually, if I soften my left knee, I feel a nicer stretch again on the outer side of my leg. I'm going to come back to center and stay on the right side a little more. So really engaging my hand so that it's stuck to the mat. And like you can lift the heel that you're grabbing as well. And then you're pushing away and breathing deeply. Whoop. And be careful that your hand doesn't slip. Let's exhale, come back onto hands and knees. Inhale, stretch the hands forward. You're looking up between your hands and you're stretching the arms and the side of the body. Exhale, come onto hands and knees. And inhale, drop your hips, bring your chest forward into deep cobra. So if you like this, you can do it a few times. Exhale, push the hips back. Inhale, press the hands into the ground, arch the spine. Any of you who's got pets, they can see them doing this, right? And one more time, up. Exhaling. Let's cross your legs or swing the feet to one side and come to sitting. So sitting with my legs bent in front of me, and they're bent just enough to keep my toes on the floor. So if I was extending them more, my toes would lift. Like as in, I'm not pressing my toes down or anything, it's just their natural angle. And I'm going to use my arms to keep myself up. I'm going to bring the inside of the feet together and exhale, open the right thigh. I'll take a few breaths here again. So really trying to support myself with my hands. Like if the right thigh is really up and it's really uncomfortable, you can bring some support underneath it so that it's, it's going to its limit, but it's supported, so it's not hanging onto your flesh or your muscles or tendons or ligaments. It's just supported in that gentle stretch. And I'm going to gently move with the breath to gently rotate the spine from one side to the other. So I'm going to try and keep that left foot quite strong on the floor. And as I inhale, I'm going to lift my left hip and turn to the right and let my head turn all the way to the right. As I exhale, I'm going to slowly come back to center. See if I can keep that right thigh open, but come and drop the hip back onto the floor. And inhaling, coming all the way to the left. So exhaling to center, inhaling, twisting, lifting the left hip, exhaling to center, both sit bones down. Inhaling, I can bring my hand around my left knee to twist and draw the hip towards the center line of the body. So a few times, exhale to center, rebalance. Inhale, look at something way over there behind you. It's quite high as well, so you gotta really be told to see it. Exhale, relax down. Inhale, see if you can see it better from this side. And exhale, come back to center. And this time, let's see if we can stay on that little lift. So balancing, really like pushing yourself up on the right hip. So maybe adjust your feet. Like mine feel a little bit better, closer to me. Pushing the right thigh down and keeping hold of the left thigh with my arm. And I'm using my fingertips, but not so much at the back of the body. Just really twisting, lifting, maybe looking back down and see what I'm doing. Is my head like totally out of alignment with the rest of the spine? And then if you're flexible, you can try and bring the arm that's behind you, the right arm, all the way around the side of your waist and hold on to the inside of the left thigh. And you're breathing here and you're making that right elbow all heavy and moving towards the back of the body. And then on an exhale, we're going to relax. Come back to center, take a breath in center. Both sit bones down, wrapping the right hand. And looking really far behind us again. And just notice how far you see from one side to the other. Like, are you looking at the same spot? Or you're looking like right behind you or further like than that half of your body? As you're breathing, you're drawing the left knee, across the body. And again, you might find your balance. So maybe shifting the feet a little bit and extend the left arm so that you can wrap it around and come and grab the inside of the left thigh. Another breath here. Shake down the center of your body. Check both your shoulders. Relax them down. Expand through your spine. And exhale. Slowly come back to center and let both knees fall out. Maybe rocking from sit bone to find a comfortable position. Holding in front of the knees. Nice straight spine. Be really tall. And then exhale and be really relaxed. And with every inhale, see if you can be really tall, but hinge forward a little bit. So bringing a little bend into the elbows and trying to really keep your back in one line. So what's moving is the angle of your spine and your hips, or maybe even the hips around the head of the legs. And then exhale, come back and relax. Adjust your arms. So doing this for a few breaths, trying to bring your tummy towards your heels without changing the curve in your lower back, and letting like the chest and the head like just follow, not actually move at all. So keep going until you find how far it goes for your body. Could not go really far at all, and your knees could be quite high up. If this is the case, maybe it'll be easier to open the feet more and focus on lengthening the lower back. Only move the lower back forward if it's already straight. If it's really rounded, just focus on lengthening it. Then take a last deep breath here, and on an exhale, then round. Let yourself come into a little bowl. Look down towards your navel, your lower belly. Think enough rounding to make space. Maybe you're going to wrap your head between your hands and just really turn into a little bowl. So you're rounding as much as you can. Notice how that feels. Like I push a little weight into my hands as I'm wrapping my head in. I can really feel some muscles on the back, the side of my spine, the trapezius muscles. So I can play with how much weight I put in the hand. I can use the hands and push the head into them, or relax the head and use the hands. Maybe move it from side to side, trying and find a place that's gonna stretch the back of the muscle. I'm trying to completely relax my head so that the movement only comes from my hands. And just soften and be still at the end of your flexibility limit. Very slowly, using your hands for support, let's unroll your spine from the bottom up. So bring the lower back over the hips, and then lining up the middle back, the upper back, and finally the neck and the head. And deep breath into the center. And now we're going to lift the right knee up. So, like we did on the other side, you're going to start lifting the right hip up and turn all the way to the left, letting the weight of the thigh come to the floor. Exhaling, coming back to center, dropping both sit bones down. Inhaling, wrapping the right thigh towards the center of the body, looking all the way back. Exhale to center. Inhale, twist onto the next side. Exhale to center. Inhale to the right. So moving with your own breath. And when I say moving with your own breath, that could mean that your breath is faster or slower than mine. But also that, like, instead of, like, if you're doing it with my own rhythm, you're going to make your breath match my movement. So when I say work with your own breath, try and let your breath control go and make your movement match the rhythm of your breath. So you just notice at the end of the exhale, you're going to twist until the end of the inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to twist again until the end of the exhale, etc. The next time you're on the side of the open leg, you're going to remain here. Maybe bring the right hand inside the right thigh, or pushing down onto the thigh that's on the ground. And again, like you're reaching up, so lengthen from your left hip up. So the left hip is pressing into the ground for support, and then every inch of your body is reaching up, but it starts from the ground up. On the exhale, it's turning, and also it starts from the ground up. So it starts from the lumbar vertebrae. So they're going up and slowly twisting. And most of the twist range we have is in our upper spine. So just notice. And then there's a lot in the neck, but you don't want the neck to be really twisted if the chest isn't. So again, you might just relax the head and take a look at yourself for a moment. And notice if you got to relax your head and look at yourself, does everything else collapse? So you're trying to find strength and balance within the body itself. Now if it feels balanced, you can reach the left hand out, wrap it all the way around to get the inside of the right thigh. A couple more breaths here. And on an exhale, coming back to center. Taking a breath in the center. Both sit bones down. Wrapping the arm around the leg. And maybe you need to lean back. So we're all going to be different in terms of body shapes and flexibility. So if you need to move the flesh of your body across from your thigh, you can lean back on the back arm and let the thigh come across before you twist. And again, we're going to look all the way right, starting from the bottom. So we inhale tallness and lightness, exhaling, twisting, releasing tension, finding the support of the earth underneath us. Relaxing the neck, noticing, can we twist the chest without twisting the neck? Noticing the difference between both sides of the body. Maybe if we can let go of the right fingertips behind us, or maybe we can't, and that's okay too. Maybe we need to shift the balance back into the feet a little bit to do it. Extend it and bring it around to hold the side of the waist or maybe the left thigh. And this is definitely a worse side for me. Like we're all going to be like either right or left-handed for how we write. And there's going to be sides like stronger or more flexible, and sometimes the stronger one is the least flexible. So there's going to be difference between the sides of the body. And it's just nice to be aware of them. And practice maybe trying to even them out without thinking that we're doing it wrong if we're not symmetrical. But just noticing if like one side is much tighter than the other, then do you feel that into something of your everyday life? And let's inhale, stand taller. Exhale, slowly relax. Extend the legs. Grab your blankets and roll down into Shavasana. Open your arms to the side of your body, so your palms facing up. Take a moment to shuffle every body part so that they feel nice and relaxed. Notice your breath. And see if you can let go of controlling it. And bring your awareness into your toes. For each body part, notice a full inhale and a full exhale. You're only keeping watch of the rhythm of the breath in the background of your awareness, and all of your focus is on the feelings of that body part. And you're just letting the rhythm of the breath move the awareness around. So with the inhale, you might feel the outer layers, the volume, the shape of the body part in the space. And as you exhale, draw the awareness down to the core of the body part, with the bones, the center of the bones, and let the weight sink down towards the earth. Notice the whole feet, the soles and the top and the heels of the feet. Bring the awareness to the ankles. The lower legs. The knees. The thighs. The hip joints, where your legs are attached. Back of the hips and the buttocks. the lower abdomen, the upper abdomen, the lower back and the waist, the ribs at the back of the body, shoulder blades, the length of your spine from your tail to the top of your neck, the ribs at the sides and the front of your body, collarbones and the top of your shoulders, top of the arms, the attachment into the shoulders, the upper arm, elbows and forearms, the wrists, back of the hands, the palms of the hands, and all of the fingers, all of your neck, back, sides, and throat. The lower part of your face, the jaws, the mouth, the ears, the cheeks, the lips, and the nose. The upper part of your face, eyes, eyebrows, forehead, temples, the skin on your scalp, your entire body, from the extremities to the core, top to the bottom, back to the front, and the left to the right. And slowly, with awareness, bring some movement back into the fingers and the toes, the feet and the wrists, the arms and the legs. You want to take a deep inhale to stretch, a deep exhale to squeeze. Roll to one side, support your head with the bottom arm. a moment for the blood flow to settle. When you're ready, press into your hands. Come back to sitting. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Of your palms, gather some heat. Bring them to your face, your shoulders, your beautiful hearts, hips, knees, and toes. And then back to your heart. Namaste. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the session this morning. And the sun will be back in the next few days. So maybe this is a good day to do a little quiet work and rest to get some energy for when the sunshine comes back. Have a great week.